Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
God and
welcome. Hello, Greg Moan.
Hello, Art Miles.
Welcome to Gods and Monsters. Look at us starting on time and the
What?
countdown working. We've got our music playing in the background, I guess. According to Facebook, we do. Oh, okay, it's working. Oh, I hear your voice quite clearly, Greg. I'm just listening to the Facebook feed real quick. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
It's amazing when you put a microphone this close to your mouth. It actually picks it up and it sounds good and everything.
Excellent. Well, we're just waiting on, of course, our fearless leader, Todd, to join us. I just want to click on, oh, look, here he is, admit. All right, I'm going to admit him and then making a little adjustment on the windows because look at that. He's going to be here any second. Here he comes. So I'm going to click on his display window and his picture frame. He is trying to sign on right now, it looks like. I'm going to shift down. Oh, my gosh, I know what I'm doing. Look at this. It's going to work.
Oh, there
Ladies
it is.
and gentlemen, Todd Fisher. Hello, Todd.
Hey, Todd Fisher.
Now, can he? Oh, he's still connecting his audio. Hold for audio from Todd. You listening to Facebook?
Now I've heard myself. I'm done. I'm good.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to shift.
Hello, boys.
Hey,
What do you need?
welcome. There you go. You turned your camera to the side and everything. Well done. Well done. Welcome.
I did. It only took 3 goes to get this thing rolling.
We've totally figured this out. Hang on. Now I'm going to really screw it up for a second.
Good.
And,
Good, because now that everything's working great.
Yes.
Oh, I see that you and I are sharing a box.
Now
Now we're looking better. Todd's still not in the broadcast.
Oh, God. Exit full screen. Hang on.
There he is. No. I see him now.
It's me.
It's
Mario.
Mario.
It's me.
Okay, we are
Hi, guys.
all on the screen at the same time. Hi, Todd. How's it going? Oh, now I'm watching
All
the delay.
right.
The Facebook delay. I jacked it all up, and now it's scooting down. The images are going good. I hit record, right? Start recording. Yes, I did. We are streaming. Of course, we're streaming. Welcome to Gods and Monsters, everyone. Welcome, Todd Fisher. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hello.
I had the opportunity. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just literally walked in the door, too. So, I just got off. So
I woke up like this.
that's right.
What do you prefer, Todd? You prefer you doing this on your phone?
Yeah, I don't really have a laptop per se, so this is fine.
You know what? You do own your own company. You should give yourself something. Give yourself a computer or
Right.
something. You know, every day, once a day.
Maybe
give
I
yourself a
will.
present. Yeah.
I'll get something nice. I'll get myself something pretty.
And I can tell you, we started this 10 minutes ago with the 10-minute countdown clock, and people have already logged on to say hello to you. Let me scroll back and
Holy crap.
say.
Charles Bowman.
Charles Bowman
Hey,
says
Charles.
hey. Marvin Stang says hey. Jack
Marv.
Jaycock says who dat?
Jack.
Just Jack. And Charles Bowman says hello.
Charlie.
Oh,
Gav Dave Sheffield, which we spoke to, I think, on our first episode.
I've been
Art's
on and
becoming-
off with Gav all day. I've been talking. Gav kept butt dialing me today.
Didn't you
which
send
was
him a
exciting.
package recently?
is that still a thing?
Oh, I sent him a package. All right.
Yes. Huh? What kind of show is this?
Oh, my.
Multiple packages.
So.
Oh, by the way, funny story.
Go ahead.
And I don't want this to dissuade anybody from doing mail order with us. But Gav, who lives in the UK,
Yes.
got his first box from us since the beginning of COVID. It took 57 days to get to him.
Did you route it through China? Is that
Yes.
on slow boats over there?
57 days.
That doesn't seem right.
I thought he was exaggerating, and then he's like, "Nope, March, whatever." And I was like, "Holy crap!" So, yeah,
They
mail's going slow.
they take care of you on the handling, but they screw you on the shipping.
Man, right?
It all got there one piece.
Yeah, it all got there. Everything was fine, but it took the best part of 2 months.
David
nuts.
says 57 days! Exclamation point. He just popped up on
Yeah.
the screen. Yes.
Yeah, crazy.
And Anna, if you so choose, you want to join us and watch us from the Facebook Live page, you can keep an eye on it and make sure that it's actually up there
Hi,
and
Anna.
working okay. I hear her in the background. Oh, there she is.
Everyone, I have
And then
Go on.
She's like, quit pointing the camera at me.
Oh,
573 bells for my turnips right now in my shop. If anyone wants to come visit.
573 bells for your turnips?
First time I've ever had a good turnip price.
Man,
turnip.
that's some turnip price.
Wait, turnips?
I don't know what
you're
that
growing a garden at your store now? Turnips?
well, okay. So in Animal Crossing, you can trade.
Oh God, the Animal
you
Crossing.
grow turnips, and you can trade turnips for
Hey.
bells.
Greg
And
gets
apparently,
it.
bells is the currency on Animal Crossing that you can buy
I see.
something with.
It is.
I don't know.
I see. So a couple of things happened this week. The first and the most important for this show being that my daughters and I went to go visit Gods and Monsters a few days ago.
Hey!
Yes.
Oh, you did.
We patronized.
That's right.
We patroned. We patroned.
Patronized. You patronized.
Yeah.
And fun story,
Yes.
you all wore masks.
We
That's
did.
so uncommon.
What a good customer we were.
I know.
Now, did you
I
have
know.
like store-bought masks, or do you have a hookup of people that make them, or
No, we have
What do you-
the standard store bought ones.
where do you find such a thing? Because I don't even know where to look, to be honest.
You know what? That's a good question. Kristen, where do we get our masks from?
Well, he doesn't even know.
Kristen knows. She got them at Walgreens, she said.
Walgreens,
This
okay.
just in. She got them at Walgreens.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, you need to get like the custom-made masks and sell them in the store.
Right?
Nerdy masks.
Amanda was working on some at the beginning of all this,
She was
but
gonna sell some in the store.
and she was going to sell some in the store. Like I'm seeing a lot of like bespoke ones kind of popping up online through Etsy and all that.
Yeah, but I really wonder how effective they are because, you know, who
Yeah.
knows who made it, and then I don't know if they're making it to a spec or something like that, or they're just picking a really cool pattern and fabric to make them, which is still better than me just not wearing a mask. But
Well, I'm currently not currently, but I've been wearing one of the ones that Amanda made, and it's delightful. Thank you,
I'm sure
Amanda.
they're great, and I actually am considering purchasing a couple from a friend that I know that makes them just to help her out and. You know, put on a good face if per se.
Any of your T-shirts, if any of you use T Public, like we like to make T-shirts for fun for my other podcast, the Fort Wilderness podcast. They do masks now too. They'll turn your T-shirt logos right into a mask.
That's
But I
man.
haven't seen the prices on that. So yeah, we got to go to the store and we purchased. Riley, why don't you bring me the book that you purchased so I can show them at Gods and
man.
Monsters? And Reese picked up a pop character from Tron, original Tron. It was Sark, I
Sark.
believe.
Yeah, I
Sark
got
out
Sark.
of the box, $10, quite reasonable. And I'm a little disappointed that none of the Tron pop characters glow in the dark. I mean, come on, what's?
I think that the case chases, like the ones that come one per case, I think that there are glow in the dark ones.
Oh, okay.
But it's the chase ones that are like that.
Chase is what you're saying. Okay, I'm clicking.
Correct.
On
Chase. CHASE. Yes.
I'm going to click on Gods and Monsters on my phone. It's easier to see all the messages people are sending.
That's
Oh,
what I'm
for sure.
doing. Yes, it's much easier.
I do it on my laptop over here, but then I got to take my head off camera. Let me look at the posts, and then I can't.
See you later.
Microphone and yeah. All right, and then now I want to see it live. So that was the first thing we did. We went to Gods and Monsters. We walked in. Todd was there with his mask on. He had just gotten a proton pack. You want to tell us about that?
I did. Yeah, I took in a collection earlier this week that had a couple of pop figures and stuff, but the big get in it was I think it was the Spirit Halloween. Kind of it looked like I think it was about a $50 or $60 one when it came out, but it was a nice solid light up proton pack from Ghostbusters. So I'm gonna be hanging it next to Slimer in the back as part of the display. So I was pretty pleased about it.
Does it make any noises?
I believe it does. You got to put batteries and stuff in it, but I think the neutrino one lights up, and I think it makes like the 2 or 3 sounds. Pretty cool.
Batteries sold separately.
Batteries sold separately.
And
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Todd was just hanging that up in the store as we showed up yesterday or 2 days ago. What day did we show up? Wednesday? I can't remember now.
Yes.
I can't believe how fast. I don't know about you guys, how fast the days go when you're just working
it's
from
crazy.
home. And one of the things that we picked up today was from Regular Show. Regular Show, very popular with the kids now. I don't know if it's going to show up with my background. No, it's
Nope.
not. It's the Regular Show, a Cartoon Network original, and it's just a comic book that she really loves. It's one of the bigger books. And
Maybe you
is
could
from
put it in
Kaboom.
front of yourself. Could you put
Put it in front of your
yourself?
face. There you go. It sort of worked. Nope.
No, it's got a shiny gloss to it, but yeah, this is this is good. This is good TV, right? I'm blocking
Good
the
work.
microphone, and I can't see
Good
the
work.
video, and yeah, that's good.
Yep,
That's good.
that's even better.
It blocks me.
Now you're gone.
All right, look at we're
Wow.
learning. We're learning. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so that's one of the things we bought, and the other one was the Sark Pop character as
Sure.
well. And while we were there, one of the other things I wanted to mention on the show today, we don't have to keep you guys here as long as we normally do. We can move along because I know you're busy people. Todd had mentioned to me how they are in the works, preparation, planning, plotting, and scheming for a live auction. You want to tell us a little bit about your plans for that?
Well, yeah, we've been trying to work out the logistics of how, like every store, it seems, their way of coping with the lower foot traffic and all that, and lower revenue, has been to start doing the online auctions. And knowing us, we try to never do things half-assed. So we've been using this week to kind of work out the logistics of how we would approach such a thing.
Yes.
And so, of course, we reached out to our very own Greg Moan. Hey, Greg.
Yes. So Todd contacted me, and he asked me what it would take to put together a 3 to 4 camera with like cameras moving around and changing scenes and stuff like that to do a live broadcast auction. And I told him, no problem. I've got all the cameras. I got all the audio equipment. We need one piece.
No problem,
unfortunately-
he says, with his background
well-
behind the It's Fine background. It's fine. No problem. We can do it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one piece of equipment has been on back order for a while. It was a very in-demand piece. It's a video switcher.
Video mixer, a switcher, yes.
Yeah, it's a video switcher.
And you have 3 inputs or so?
4, and you
Nice.
can also output to USB, so it goes right into a laptop or computer as if it were a webcam. And there's like no confusion or complication to it. You just plug it in and it works. Unfortunately, they're hard to get.
It's on back order.
Because everybody wants that right now to do kind of like what we're doing right now. Everybody wants to be able to do live web stream stuff and run their businesses that way. It makes total sense. Why it's
Well,
on
it's also
back-
a generally new product that Blackmagic just didn't make enough of for the demand, which is typical of Blackmagic.
So what we'll probably end up doing is a more refined version of what I want to do, which I sent you guys my long, ambitious notes. And
Yes. That was a long
I know,
ass
right?
We the People of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union.
I know.
Here's our auction info. It was long.
That's what I do when I'm laying in bed, falling asleep at night. I'll get crazy ideas, and I'll just start typing away, and I end up with lists like that.
Hopefully, within about 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be going full bore, doing these very cool live auctions.
Should do a practice
Yeah,
one
man.
or a soft open type thing where we
I
test
would
it all.
I would like to, if we can, I'd like to do like you said, like a practice one at least, to kind of get a feel for how we want to approach it and all that. But
Certainly.
Greg, of course, without hesitation, was just like,
I'm
how
in.
can I help? So
He
Greg's awesome.
briefly checked his calendar and immediately turned back and said, "Yeah, I'm good."
that's right.
A couple of messages popping up on the screen. Dave
Okay.
Sheffield saying that he loves Greg's background. It was from The Office originally with Stanley in the background.
Nice.
Aaron Barnhill says he needs a Darth Vader mask. If that's something maybe you
I
could
saw,
sell.
I saw
the
Aaron
COVID
yesterday.
masks. And Daniel T. Rook is saying, what are you guys broadcasting with software? I'm so glad you asked that, Daniel. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is a free program. It's outstanding. It's called OBS Studios. OBS Studios. You can download it for free. The only thing is with it, you have to run another program with it, like a Zoom or a WebEx or a Google type place where you can have all of your videos off to the side. So if you could see my screen, which you can't, I've got OBS Studios up. It lets me put graphics in and out. As you can see, I've got the lower with Todd's name and information on it. I've got, something new to show you. It is right here, and I'm going to fade it in. It's our logo in the bottom left-hand corner with the spinning globe and the microphone, Gods and Monsters.
Oh, man.
Where's that? I don't see it.
Give it 10 seconds.
Sorry.
Let me click the button, have it beam out into space, and beam back to Facebook. And now I'm shouting. I'm sorry. Okay, you should be able to see something now if you go over to Facebook. So I just created, it's just a video. It's just an MP4 file, and it's just in the bottom left-hand corner. Can you see it yet?
Not yet.
How could I be seeing it on my laptop? Are you live?
Because I'm behind.
Well, and it's just movie files. It lets you import.
Oh my gosh, I'm way behind. My background just changed, and I did that almost a minute ago.
It lets you do video files, MP4 files, or MOV files, and lets you put them in there. Of course, we've got our own backgrounds. That's just because Zoom's letting us do that. Todd got his standard "I'm sitting on my couch" background again that he loves using.
Love that one.
And you can do video files. You can add photos. It even has a browser button where you can click a browser button and type in the link, and it will play the video. Like you see Todd's picture up on the screen. I could put video from YouTube on there, and it will just play it live. But it is a free program. It's amazing, called OBS Studios. I highly recommend it for anybody that wants to do something like this. Maybe we'll use OBS with the auction. I don't know exactly, how all the auction stuff is going to work. It's very interesting to try. And I think you should have the media involved with this as well. Perhaps 2, 6, and 9 or Fox 35 would be interested in something like this, because this is what businesses need to do now to succeed, to continue, and they like to hear stories like that.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I think that would be a great thing to reach out to them and say, hey, this is something that we're doing to be innovative in this time. Because I'm sure they're just reaching for some kind of good stories to show, because they got to be sick of just showing the
death totals.
Yeah.
Every day. I know. It's bad. So, yeah, they're always looking for one of the reporters, David Martin, friend of ours, was at one of the resale shops today and kind of did like a little fashion show with some of the people who came in and purchased dresses and stuff. One of the Goodwill outlets or something like that. They want to see good stories. So if you guys are going to start doing online auctions, they're going to want to be there, I'm sure, to witness that, to see how a business is changing with the times, which is exactly what you guys are trying to do.
Sure. Yeah. I see a lot of the I see a lot of the stores doing one version or another of an auction show. Some of them are a little more rudimentary than others, but they get the job done. I mean, Aaron at A Comic Shop has been doing a lot of business during the breakout with with his auctions. I think he does them at least weekly, I think. But most of the comic book stores, that's how I'm seeing them kind of make ends meet a lot of the time. Yeah. And sometimes it's as simple as just a guy putting a thing on a stand and saying, "How much for this?"
Hey, yeah, whatever works.
Going once, times. Going twice.
Right.
But yeah, we'll try to do something a little bit more, I don't know, entertaining at very least. Try to get creative with it.
And that's the way you guys have always been. You've always been creative. You're always, thinking ahead. This is what some people do. This is what we're going to do. It's always something better. You've themed out your store.
How many other comic book shops have a full bar in the back?
Right. I think Anna and I are of the same mindset, where like, what's the point in doing it if you're not going to like really go for it? You know what I mean? Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn and all that, always said, like, his philosophy is always, can it be cooler? Like, how can we make it cooler? Yeah. When he's doing his toys or when he's doing his comics or whatever, it's always, what can I do to make this cooler? And it's something. Well, I don't necessarily always dig on Todd. He's got some good philosophy behind it. It's a good philosophy to have in business and in life.
He's a big collector too, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he bought a couple of the record baseballs and a bunch of stuff. A lot of that, of course, is just for press. But I mean, he's a fan too. Obviously, he's a sports fan because he did the what was it, the McFarlane Sports Picks, or the action figure line.
Was he involved in the online sports betting thing? I can't remember now.
I don't know.
Anyway, I just watched something not too long ago about the Spawn movie and how that came to be, and how he wanted like complete control over it, and then the studio said, okay, fine, you got control, you can do whatever you want. And he said, well, I want to make a hard R cartoon or animated for release, and they're like, no, you can't do that. And then they said, well, and then he said, well, then I want to make an R-rated superhero film because the material is so dark. And they were just like, nope, make it PG-13. And they fought him on it, and they fought him on it, and they fought him on it. Can you imagine if, with the way that the films are made now, and the success of Deadpool and the success of what was the Wolverine, Logan, if he was allowed to make an R-rated Spawn, I think that would have been far more successful than the one that they made, because I think they made about as good as they could with the constraints of what he had to work with. But it wasn't good.
Right. Spawn's never been necessarily my favorite book, but I mean, there's a core story there that
there's a great story.
Yeah, no, there is. There's a core to that book that's actually pretty compelling, and if they could translate that to film better than they did the first time, which was it stunk of studio interference, and it was just too much.
So how has he not been approached from Netflix and say, hey, you want to turn that into a 10-part series? Do whatever you want.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had probably had those conversations. But yeah, you're right. I'm kind of surprised that with all of the other franchises showing up on Netflix or on Hulu or whatever, I'm surprised.
HBO, Watchmen.
That Spawn hasn't. Exactly.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting that you say that, because for about a decade there's been talk of a reboot remake of the film, and that was all the way up until 2017. He was still talking about it. So.
Oh, very recently, very recently.
So that's still a possibility. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's always on the table with Todd. It's I do know that if it hasn't ended yet, it's probably nearing completion. He launched a Kickstarter recently to do an anniversary version of the original Spawn action figure. Oh. And he was asking for a modest amount, and of course he instantly made like millions and millions and millions of dollars through this Kickstarter. I think it's still going. But also, if you want to see a Spawn movie done kind of right, there's a fan film that was done by a French fan, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But it's done the way you would want a Spawn movie to be done. It's super horror aesthetic, has a super horror feel to it. And Spawn is barely in it. Spawn is almost like the boogeyman. Like he's in it for like maybe a minute of the whole movie, but he is, of course, he's the shit. Like, oh my god, it's so good. So obviously Todd has probably seen it, and but I would love to see a movie with the aesthetic that they employed in the fan film. If you look up French Spawn fan film, you'll probably find it on YouTube, but it's worth a watch. It's cool.
I pretty much dismiss the film. I take the first season of the HBO show as the definitive Spawn visual.
Agreed. Yeah, the animated stuff was actually really good. Really the only good thing to come out of that original movie, out of some of the other than what's his name, Martin Sheen, is he's terrible in that, by the way. I love Martin Sheen, but he's terrible in that movie.
Slight miscast.
Is the what do you call it? The Marilyn Manson, the Long Hard Road Out of Hell is a good song and a good video. That's it.
From the film, are you talking?
The movie. John Leguizamo is a nightmare. It's just terrible.
Yeah, the soundtrack was pretty great, and I bought it, and I enjoyed it far more than the film.
Yeah.
Got other messages here. The person who asked me the question about the OBS Studios, Daniel T. Rook, also wanted to say, love your store. So he's been there to see before. Dante Frank is there. Hello, Dante. Thanks for watching again today. And Greg Moan says test. I guess he's testing.
Well, I didn't know if my messages were frozen or something like that, because nothing else was coming in.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you say Dante Frank was on there? Hi, Dante.
Yeah, Dante's watching. He always checks in with us. It's good to hear from Dante as well.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, that would be good. So you've had another week of social distancing, 25% capacity sales.
Right.
How did it go this past week?
It's still very slow. The people, I will say this, so the first week that we were reopened, I wore a mask, but didn't enforce it with others. I wanted to gauge how people were self-regulating, like how they were, policing themselves with the mask.
Yes.
And we came up with about 70 or 80% of people weren't wearing the masks.
We're not.
Oh, geez.
We're not wearing the masks. So this week we decided to use those numbers as a conduit to getting to lockdown. Like we put up signs and everything, like no masks, no entry, and we were really gonna buckle down with them. And so what I've adopted is whenever anybody comes in, they get I can see anybody coming in instantly. So because the desk is right there.
Right.
So they're usually not more than 2 or 3 steps in, and I go and I tug on my mask and I'm like, hey guys, we're doing the mask thing. And it's weird because it's about the same numbers. About 70-80% are cool with it. Like they're like, oh, okay. And they'll either go out to their car and get their mask, or they'll pull it from their pocket and they'll put it on. And they're super
It's
cool
in their
about
pocket?
it.
What the?
I know.
They just got out of their car and,
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. So they put it on and they do their shopping and that's that. And most people, it seems that most people, when they're told to do it, are okay with it. I had probably, I don't know, half a dozen people and or groups turn around and leave, because they either didn't have masks or were just out futzing around, I guess.
Yeah.
So I had a dad and his daughter come in today, and he had a mask, but the daughter didn't. So I said everybody needs a mask, and so she seemed really bothered. She seemed really sad about it. So they started to leave, and I went out and I handed her a mask.
Oh,
we got some, and they came in and they shopped and they bought something, and everything was cool. So I'm like,
Great.
okay. I'm like, okay, maybe this is the way to do it. And so I'm gonna get shit for this, I know. So I had a guy come in not too long after that, and it was the same thing. I was like, hey man, we're doing the mask thing, and he seemed a little put off by it. And so I went over and I handed him a mask, and he said, no man, it's cool. The law's not really saying anything concrete about it. I'll just come back another time. And he took the mask I gave him.
Oh,
What? Oh no.
You bastard!
That's poor form.
Son of a! I was like, So, right. So try to do it. Try to be nice.
If the people who are out there who don't want to wear a mask and they go out and they go shopping, it's like if they put a mask on, it's their way of accepting what's happening, and they don't want to accept it.
I guess. Yeah. That makes perfect sense. I just don't get it. It's like they can't see outside of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They can't see, and I explain it to people. Like I tell people that are wearing the mask, I'm like, right out of the gate, I'm like, I really appreciate you wearing the mask. Thanks for that. And usually if I'm making that second round of conversation with them, I'll say, I'm having to be kind of strict about it because my wife and my dad are immunocompromised, and this could really mess them up. And a lot of people are really understanding about it. I'm surprisingly way more so than last week. Like this week is like a different story. So I'm glad to see that some people are wearing the masks. Whenever anybody calls, I tell them ahead of time, like, we need the masks. So I mean, as long as you're telling them, it seems to be mostly okay. You get the 1 or 2 stragglers that are just clueless or give you the stink eye or whatever, or just leave.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like, I'd rather them go than if they're gonna, be foolish about it. But
I'm keeping an eye on our clock and our time. I'm using Zoom, and last week we used it for a very long time. This week, the little message just popped up saying you're only allowed to do it for 40 minutes at a time, and then you get bumped off.
Really?
So we still have 9 minutes left. We've already gone for a half hour. It's 8:30 already. We started right on time. So I wanted to keep us
I think
on
those
time.
auction shows are going to go quick, though, man. If that's the case.
Well, we won't use Zoom for that. If we do it, we'll use WebEx.
No, it'll just go directly to Facebook Live.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
No, I mean, it will fly by. The time.
Yes.
will
Oh yeah,
fly.
by.
yeah.
You got to get an auctioneer to do the voice thing and everything like that. So, did any new merchandise come into the store today or this week that you're interested to letting people know about?
You know what? Well, yeah, we've got new stuff from Diamond is going to start shipping in on May 20th. Most of that's trickling in is going to be like the subscriber books that haven't been shipping for a while, and then there's a lot of trade reorders, trade paperback pre-orders. So we'll be getting a lot of restocks on the books and stuff like that. Probably minimal on the toys at first, but I've been taking in a lot of collections, like the one that yielded us the Ghostbusters backpack and some pops. I got in not long after you left, Art. I got in a collection of Vinylmations. I did not get Smart Guy though. I asked the guy when it's Smart Guy, right? The one that Reese was looking for.
Correct.
Yes, I got probably 80 of them in a collection.
His girls are so picky.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, a bunch of those. So that prompted me to redo our kids, the big display where I keep the glassed in display where I keep all the kids stuff. I redid that whole shelf yesterday. What else?
Todd, do you find yourself walking around the store thinking, hey, this would be a good time to do that remodel idea that I had 8 months ago?
You know, I wish my crew was back. I wish Al was back, because when we approach a section together, we can usually knock it out in a matter of an hour or so together. But when it's just me doing it, it takes 3 times as long. And
Sure. Yeah.
But no, I redid the case yesterday, and it took me all day to do it while I'm dealing with people and stuff. But I got it done, and that was that. What else? I got some Star Wars figures in. Gus Condos, a regular of ours, he's the kind of collector. He'll collect, and then purge. Collect, purge. And this is now the second time that he's brought me a full run of the Star Wars Resistance 4-inch figures.
Oh.
So I got a full set of those. I got one of the new, what are they called? It's a new type of, it's about an 8-inch Star Wars figure, and I can't remember the name of it. It was really cool sounding. I'll figure it out. But it's about an 8-inch Star Wars figure. This one was Darth Vader, but it was it's hyper articulated, and it's got hidden articulation. It's got like a metal endoskeleton inside, so all the posing is done under the clothes, which is really cool. So it's like seamless articulation, really cool. I can't remember what it's called though. Got
what kind of price on something like that?
They retail for about $80.
Yeah,
So
that sounds about
pricey.
right because they're well constructed and designed and engineered.
It's a really nice figure. It's got a bunch of extra different hands, like in different positions, like a force blast effect, the saber, of course, but cloth goods for the cape and the outfit, and kind of rubberized sections to hide that endoskeleton underneath. So it just looks like a posable statue of Vader. It's really cool.
You got to make a stop motion video of it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we met a kid recently. Did I tell you about the kid that we did the birthday party for?
No, tell us about that.
No, his mother. The kid's name is Reese, and is another Reese.
Yes.
I think you did tell us last week, didn't you? I mean, I've heard about Reese the boy.
His mother Elizabeth called us up and had all of his relatives call us up and drop money into a store credit account for him.
Yes, you did.
And he came out. He was turning 11, and he went through and got some figures to use for his stop motion movies. He does stop motion effects for movies. He's 11 years old and he's making these little movies. It's pretty cool. So
that's why I wonder why I'm even bothering doing this stuff when 11-year-olds are putting out stuff that's much better than what I'm doing.
I'm just saying, if we need stop motion done, I know a guy.
Gotcha. I know a guy. He's 11.
We know a guy. He's 11.
Great.
He's the real deal. Reese.
Fantastic.
I got a message.
So shout out to Reese.
I got a message from Daniel saying that you can subscribe to Zoom and not be shut off. I actually am subscribed, but if you have 3 or more in a group, you get shut off after 40 minutes unless you do the monthly subscription thing. But we still got 3.5 minutes. If there's anything else you'd like to say to your audience out there, Todd, to let them know. Let them know the hours again that you're open and which days.
Sure. Currently, we're doing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're doing appointment shopping only, where you can reach out to us on Facebook or through social media and say, hey, I want to come in Tuesday. We're doing half-hour and hour blocks. So you and a group of up to 10 can come and just have the store to yourself for your shopping.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
We have a book for Sunday.
Oh, we already have a booking for Sunday, which is kind of cool for that. So
one of your off
yeah,
days.
it's just and then all the other days, Wednesday through Saturday, we're doing 12 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So, and that's me there, mask fully on.
Yeah, and if you're going to go 12 to 7, take a mask, wear a mask.
Exactly.
Please.
Just wear a mask. It is literally the least you can do.
A message from Ricky Cooper saying, Todd, when are you going to do cosplay of Mad Max Todd version of going towards the wasteland?
Well,
really quick shout out to Ricky. Ricky has kind of been our impromptu savior for the COVID thing. He was the one that was doing the budget boxes where he'd say, I've got here, take $200 and just go shopping for me. And he would let me make him a box full of stuff. He did that like 3 times
Ricky,
during the pandemic.
So he set up his own personal loot crate with you. That is so great.
Isn't that great? You know?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he came in today and I had 2 long time subscribers that I was getting ready to cancel because we hadn't heard from them in months and months and months, even before the pandemic started. And I gave him first dibs, and he bought all but 4 of the books. It was like 50 books. So I mean, Ricky's awesome, man. Ricky's keeping it afloat.
Great support.
Yeah. So shout out to Ricky Cooper. He's the best. He was our first VIP as well with the VIP cards, with the the stamp cards.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one to reach VIP, and so we let him do it again, and so he's kind of a double VIP. Pretty cool.
First time. Well,
and now,
yes.
By the way, I'll announce this is the last announcement, and then we can go.
Yes, we have 1 minute left. Go ahead.
This is an announcement for Ricky. Anna and I discussed it, and you, because of your participation and help during the COVID-19 thing, you are a VIP for life. You will get
that.
Very good. VIP for life.
As long as we are a business, you are a VIP with us.
Wow.
Thank you, Ricky Cooper. He's awesome.
It pays to support
and thank you, Art and
your.
Greg. You guys have been here since before we even started, and you're like family, and we love you guys. And thanks for doing these videos.
We want to remind everybody again, the phone number 407-270-6273. No, that's not the call-in number to request songs. That's where you call to find out about Gods and Monsters and the times. The address is up on the screen as well on International Drive. We want to make sure you get down there and visit the store because they are open for business.
It's a true story. Yeah, reach out to us on Facebook or social media if you have any questions or anything, or just give me a call at the shop. I'm usually there.
All right. It looks like we're about to count down. We'll do better and maybe do a little bit longer next time. But, it's good to just get in there for a half hour, 40 minutes. I don't want Todd holding that phone for a whole hour. It's too much.